Guys, happy coffee talk. Coffee this morning is in this awesome mug with the trees and the skyline. I don't think you could get a better mug for me than this one. It looks like the lights, the northern lights. One day I want to go see those in person. I've never seen them. But that's what it looks like to me. I have a feeling this looks like exactly like it. It's like a silhouette of the trees and then these like green and blues behind it. So one of my, places I want to go and things I want to see are the Northern Lights. My coffee this morning, I'm at the very end of my Valhalla Java. This was like a new thing for me because I've been drinking like Black Rifle for so long, but this is solid. And this was even ground, which normally like for me in coffee, I always grind my own beans like on the spot. But this was really great. And it's from Death Wish Coffee. Is the name of it, which makes me laugh. And this was the Odin Force blend. So again, I don't get anything from telling you about it. I just like coffee. I don't know a ton about coffee. I just know if I like it or not, but I really liked that. So if that might be something you want to order and try, again, it's deathwishcoffee.com. Hey, Death Wish Coffee, if you've listened to Coffee Talk, I would drink more of this if you want. So, it's really good. So anyways, I wanted to get into the coffee talk message right away. And I guess, one more thing, reset. I'm going to keep reminding you because it's for real. Yesterday, I was like looking at all the wins from the reset. And really, honestly, if you're not doing it, you're missing out. And so if that's all you need is some positive peer pressure, like you're missing out on doing something really good for yourself for free. Sign up in the link in the comments in the show notes. It's completely for free. Last week we talked a lot about sugar. This week is all about workouts and movement. I put some free workouts in the Facebook group yesterday, and I'm going to be doing a live in there today where I explain kind of how exercise works for our body. How do we change the shape of our body? How do we burn fat? What does toned mean? I'm going to do a live on that. And so that's in the Facebook group as a part of the reset. And so join the reset so you get all of that good stuff. And we're doing it all month. So hope to see you in there. Now let's dive into the coffee talk message. Last night, so if you missed earlier this week, I hurt my thumb on Monday at jiu-jitsu. It was just an accident. Somebody fell on me and it bent my thumb a million degrees in the wrong direction, like right at the joint. And so it hurt my actual hand. My thumb is less hurt than the hand part beneath my thumb, if I could describe that correctly. So if you look at your thumb joint, like the part that's on the inside, like on the meat pad of your hand, that is where there is something wrong because that's where your thumb joint is actually in there. So good news, it's not broken and it's not dislocated, but it could have a ruptured tendon. And so I'm in this like immobilizer thing, right? Well, Tuesday, I ended up doing, so the injury happened on Monday. Tuesday, I ended up doing a garage workout. So I made up a workout because they wanted to move my body and sweat a little bit that didn't require any hands. And so that was pretty straightforward. And then on yesterday, I was like, should I go to jiu-jitsu? I was really like question mark, right? Because I know that there's a lot of stuff that I cannot do. But I had the time already set in my schedule on pretty much Monday, Wednesday, and most Fridays I go to jiu-jitsu at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7:30. It's a part of my routine. So I was thinking about going and I was like, you know what? You could get more hurt. You can't do everything. You're kind of like in this immobilizer thing. And then here's the reason that I decided to go. Other than that, I wanted to see the people at jiu-jitsu that I love. But like the real reason that I decided to go was to preserve the routine. Because it's hard to create routines, like healthy lifestyle routines. It's hard to put those in place sometimes for the first time. But then once they're there, it's a lot easier to maintain it. You've probably experienced that before when you're setting into motion a new schedule. It can feel a little weird because you're paying attention, like what time do I have to be here, blah, blah. And then once you get in a groove, you're like, oh, okay, that's, you don't have to figure things out anymore. You just show up and you do it. Well, I learned a long time ago because I've had a series of injuries in the past, not my knee stuff. That all happened before I started coaching and fitness and everything, but just little setbacks. And I had a little surgery a couple years ago, and it was the same kind of thing where part of me wanted to sit out because I was annoyed that I couldn't do everything. And part of me wanted to sit out because I was like, well, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to just go there and not do anything. And part of me wanted to not go because I wanted to be lazy and do other things. Because all of a sudden you get an hour back, an hour and a half back. What are you going to do with your time? But over and over again, I found that it's really critical to keep the routine in place because it's the routine that is hard to do. And so last night I went to jujitsu no matter what, because I wanted to keep the routine in place. On Wednesdays, I go to jujitsu. And so I taped up my hand into like almost like a club. So I closed my fist and taped it shut with athletic tape. That way there's no universe that my thumb could get caught in anything. And then it was protected in the immobilizer. And I did the first hour of class the best that I could, using one arm. And so was it perfect? No. Could I do everything? No. Like, did I need to be careful? Yes. But I got an hour of training in out of the hour and a half. And that was great because I probably learned some new things. I actually did some things better than I've done in the past, which was bizarre. But what I really did was just not allow my brain the out. I didn't give myself the pass of, oh, you're hurt, so now you don't have to go. So instead, I went anyway, and now it's like a non-negotiable, right? Like that injury happened 2 days ago. So if I'm going to go back to class 2 days after an injury, there's no universe that I wouldn't go next week, 10 days out, right? Like I'm going to go because why wouldn't I go? I just went this time and I modified it. I couldn't do everything. I was annoyed a little bit because I couldn't do everything, but I just made the best of it. But I kept the routine in place. And so will I go Friday? Maybe. I mean, it's mostly rolling, so I probably can't do as much there as I could on the other days. But it doesn't matter. Like, what am I going to do Friday instead? I've got to keep something in that spot. Because the last thing I would want to do is give myself the pass of like, oh, you don't have to do that at all. And then now I fill that gap, right? That time spot with obligations, busyness, laziness. And then now it's way harder to go back. Imagine if I took this thumb injury and the doctors, which PS, the doctors are like, you need to sit out for blah, 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 blah time. And I get it. That's what they're supposed to say. I believe them. It's just not what I'm doing because I know how this works. I know how it works. When you sit out for 4 to 6 weeks, you don't come back. It's very hard to come back. It is much better to preserve the routine and show up even if you can't do anything. Even if I was like in a cast from my tip of my fingers all the way up to the top of my shoulders, I probably should still show up and just sit there. Why? Because I preserve the routine. Because what if maybe I could just do some rehab during that time? Maybe I can just slowly work on something with my legs during that time. Maybe I can just watch and listen and learn through visualizing what everybody else is doing. But either way, I'm preserving the time that I set aside for myself to grow in this particular capacity. And if I compromise it, I'm going to have to work 10 times as hard to put it back. And so even when I was pregnant with Georgia, so Georgia is like 3.5. And I remember I was doing a lot of CrossFit when I was pregnant with her. It was just really fun and enjoyable to just go to class and show up and do a workout and leave. Like it felt really great to not have to think of what to do. And so I would go to class and do the workout. Well, that was cool for like 2.5 trimesters. Right around that third trimester though, there wasn't a lot that I could do that was the same as everybody else in class. There really wasn't. I would go and I'd be like, well, I got to modify that, and that. So pretty much the whole class. And I could have just been like, well, I'm tapping out. Not going to go anymore until after I have this baby. But it was the same thing. It was really important to preserve the routine. So I would just go. And if I could do the stuff in class, cool. And if not, then I would leave my stuff in the gym and I would go for a walk. And I would walk for 45 minutes and come back at the end of class and be like, I did whatever I did, and then I would leave. And it was funny because, again, like that doesn't make a ton of sense. I could have just sat at home and rested. But what was really important to me was to create that healthy habit routine. I had already created it. Why would I mess it up? Why would I mess it up and make it harder? Why would I make it so that after I had the baby, it had been 6 months since I'd been to the gym? That's so much harder to get back into it. Why would I make it so that if this hand injury is like a couple weeks situation, why would I make it so that it's been a month since I've been back to jiu-jitsu? That's going to be way harder to go back. It doesn't have to be though, because if I can just keep showing up and just doing whatever I can do, or using that time to heal, or using that time to stretch, or using that time to learn or focus, right? It doesn't have to be like full send. You don't have to tape your body into a club, like I did. But if you just keep that time. And so the reason I'm telling you this, one, is if you already have a routine, protect it at all costs. If you've worked hard to create a healthy habits routine, protect it. And then the second thing is maybe you haven't. Maybe you're not there yet and you're like, I don't even have that routine. This story is a clue into what you need to focus on. Because I'm telling you what the hard part is. I'm telling you what the most important part is, which is creating the routine. The routine of, okay, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I go do this strength training. On Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, I go for a walk with Janet down the street. That's your routine. So then once you create it, if it's a rainy day and Janet's like, I don't feel like it, you go anyway. But you have to create that routine. So if you're listening to this and you're like, Christy, I hear you, but I don't even have a routine. Well, then now you know what your first step is. I want your first step to be create a routine in which you're taking care of yourself. And that includes both moving your body, challenging your body, and feeding your body. Those things. I want you to move your body. I want you to challenge your body, and I want you to feed your body correctly. If you do those things, you are going to feel a lot better, but you have to do them consistently, and doing them consistently requires a routine. And so go ahead and look at your schedule, right? We're talking about a routine. Let's not just like make it up. Pull out your calendar and say, if I was going to create a routine to move my body and challenge my body, where does it fit on here? Okay, so moving your body, that's like walking. That's just being up and active. When can you walk? Can you walk for 10 minutes every morning? Can you walk for 30 minutes after work? Can you walk on your lunch break with your homie? Can you go for a walk with your kids after dinner? Can you walk your dog? Where can you move your body? If you are sitting most of the day, you need to plan to walk and move your body. Next, where are you going to challenge your body? I'm talking about strength training or like fitness training. I'm talking about like, are you challenging your muscles? Are you challenging your cardiovascular system? Like, are you making your heart beat fast? Challenge your body. Are you getting mentally tougher because you're doing something hard and outside your comfort zone? Where are you doing that during your week? You got to do both. Move your body, challenge your body. Put those in your routine. And then protect that routine at all costs. Even if you get a setback, even if you're injured, even if you go on travel. And again, like part of me working out on travel. So when I went to Maryland for the holidays, I think I was there for 7 days. And 4 of those days I did a workout. Why? Well, 1, it makes me feel better because I enjoy the feeling that I get after exercise. But 2, protect the routine. I did not want it to be 8 days since I had moved my body and done anything when I got back from that trip. So I knew if I did anything, if I just like went to the gym and did some basics, if I did some burpees in the basement, which is what I did, or if I did a workout with my sister-in-law, like that was doing something. And so that way when I got back, I'm not recreating that feeling of, oh man, like it's been so long. It hasn't been so long. I kept the routine in place. And so you're going to build your routine, move your body, challenge your body, and then you need a routine around feeding your body. It's true. Protect the routine. Again, sometimes it's like I'm going out somewhere, I'm like visiting people and I'm not needing to eat breakfast, but then I'm like, well, I really need to eat a protein-rich breakfast. And so I'm going to protect the routine. Like I don't need to break this habit right now just because I'm on travel. And so I'll go find something just because. Am I starving? No, but I want to protect that routine. I don't want to let myself off the hook. And so the theme, I guess, or the takeaway from this is 1, protect your routine at all costs. If you've worked hard to put healthy habits in place, keep them. If you've worked really hard to keep if you put a support system in place, like a coach or a community or an accountability buddy or like a friend group that you do things that actually take care of your body, keep it at all costs. Keep it, preserve it, protect it. Do what you need to do to keep that in place. If you created a routine around going to the gym or walking or all of those things, keep it in place at the best that you can. It's not going to look perfect, right? Yesterday didn't look perfect, but it kept the routine in place. Keep it in place at all costs. I'm telling you, I'm giving you a golden ticket right here. The golden ticket is some people make it harder all the time. And then they're like, why is this so hard? And then some people know the truth about how to do this in the long term, how to take care of themselves. And I'm giving you one of them right now. Protect that routine. And if you don't have one, let's build it. Let's build it. You can do it. If you need help, you know where to find me. I'm happy to help you build that routine out. That's part of actually what we do in Fitme. I mean, that's a really big part. Some people, when they start with Fitme, most people are like, my nutrition's all over the place. I'm not consistent with moving my body or challenging my body. And I don't eat, I don't take care of myself very well. And so what we do over the years, we build that life. We build that healthy lifestyle. So we start to build a routine, we start to build a schedule, we start to build a support system. We find ways to challenge your body. We teach you how to feed your body. When you start doing that consistently because you have accountability and support and coaching, then you start to see changes. You start to see weight loss, you start to see energy increase, you start to see your clothes fit better. You start to see all of those things because you have put the pieces in place, you have the accountability, you have the consistency, and now you're doing it. That's what we do. So if you want help, you know where to find me. Click the apply button. Let's schedule a call and talk about it. And again, I will point you in the right direction no matter what. And so you don't really have anything to lose from scheduling that call. Or just do it on your own. Get your calendar out right now and do it. Set yourself a routine, something you can commit to. Move your body, challenge your body, feed your body. So thanks for plugging into Coffee Talk. Don't forget to sign up for the reset. I want you to be a part of it. We have 187 people participate in the reset. Why not you? Why aren't you doing it too? So join us for the reset. I'll put the link in the bio, the link in the show notes. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fitme Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, go on over to Facebook, search Fitme Community, request to join the group. I will add you. That's where all the action's happening for the reset. And there's just some great people in there and you want to be a part of it. Our values are realness, resiliency, and reliability. And you can feel that in the group. It's not a place for a highlight reel. It's not a place for judgment. We want you to keep showing up even when life's tough. And so if that's what you're looking for, if that's the flavor of fitness that you want, come on over and I'll see you there. Take care.